Howdy, howdy, folks. I actually see that there is a timer at the bottom, which makes me think that yesterday when I hopped on for just a few minutes to see if it worked, and probably didn't because it didn't have a timer. So I probably just sent the recording out into nowhere. Oh well, you know, me and technology. This is kind of the way it goes. Afternoon, stoners. So glad you're here. I hope there's a whole bunch of you on. This is going to be a really, really great matchup. I have been wanting to, I've seen this cigar around a bunch and have been wanting to pair it. And I finally got a hold of 4 or 5 of them. So we're going to pair it today. I am pairing Garrison Brothers Single Barrel with Macanudo Emissary España. Now, Garrison Brothers, it is known for its like smooth, velvety texture. It's got with like hints of caramel and oak and vanilla, kind of the whole bourbon thing. I mean, it is a Texas straight bourbon. The origin is Garrison Brothers Distillery right here in Texas. The mash bill is 74% corn, 15% wheat, and hadn't really said much about the other 10%, but I believe it's malted barley. It is 94 proof, so 47% alcohol by volume. It is a non-age statement, but they note it as being more than 4 years old. Just don't say exactly. So we're going to go ahead and glass them up here. I love corks. Screw tops, not the way to go. Now that is just absolutely beautiful in the glass. It is like just a nice dark reddish amber maple syrup kind of color to it. It's got some really nice legs. Yeah, it's got nice legs on it. I mean, it's holding on to the glass really well. Now, it is kind of on up there. It's up, right around the $100 a bottle. So just be warned before you go in. Now on the nose. You do get a lot of kind of alcohol burn, ethanol, but kind of riding up on that wave is some nice oak spice. There's some fruity notes, kind of like stone fruits, like plums and something like that, maybe nectarines. There is a little bit of, and this may be the alcohol, the ethanol part of it, but it's almost like a menthol or eucalyptus, something along those lines that kind of slips in there behind the fruit, gives it a nice minty smell to it, aroma. Need to come up with some better words. Telling you, I really love this Garrison Brothers. I think I've got 3 different of their line, and so far I've loved every one of them. Honeydew is my most favorite, but that's made with real Texas honey. Now, on the palate. You get some really nice oak, and then a little bit of kind of a smooth leather on the palate with maybe some sweet herbs mixed in there, some caramel. A little bit of eucalyptus does kind of make its presence known, like on the nose. and it's got plenty of barrel char and vanilla for you to know it is a bourbon. It's got a really nice body to it. It's kind of a medium body. It's slightly syrupy on the palate with some really nice proof heat. You get a little bit of burn around the edges of your tongue. Not too much, not too much. Uh, and then on the finish, you get lots of really long, like mintiness, uh, and kind of a coating sort of finish, I guess you'd say, something along those lines. Overall, the mint note is pretty strong, and it really does kind of dominate. Uh, but the heat is really solid for a 94 proof spirit. And like I said, the vanilla it keeps in the front of your mind that this is a bourbon. Now, for the Macanudo Emissary. I got to read this because there's a lot of information about this stick, and there's no way I could have remembered it all. The Emissary España, it incorporates quite a few different aged tobaccos. The parent company is Scandinavian Tobacco Group, STG, and it has said that the Spanish tobaccos in this stick undergo 10 years of aging. That's a lot for a cigar. The remainder includes tobaccos that have been aged between 5 and 10 years. So there's a lot of age to this cigar. In addition to the Spanish tobacco, the filler of the Macanudo España, Emissary España, it also incorporates filler tobaccos, including 5-year aged Dominican Piloto, 6-year aged Nicaraguan, and 5-year aged Colombian. There's a lot going on in this stick. I think it's going to be really complex. The binder is a 6-year aged Nicaraguan leaf from the Condega region. And finally, it is cloaked in a 5-year aged Connecticut grown broadleaf wrapper. Yeah, now you see why I'm like, I got to read this because there's no way I could remember all of that. It is offered in different sizes. This one is Robusto. It is a 5 by 52 on the ring gauge, and I can say that is probably just about right. On the visual, this Connecticut broadleaf for a Connecticut is actually rather dark. You may recognize Connecticut broadleafs from the really light colored cigars like the Olivet O's, maybe something like that, or if you're into like the coffee infused things, the Indian tobacco, they have both a dark colored leaf and a light colored leaf. Yeah, this is a little bit darker than your typical, from what I've smoked, Connecticut broadleafs. And this is, they say that this is going to come across as a medium roast coffee in color. I would say medium light, and that comes from my years of owning a coffee house where I roasted my own coffee beans. Not quite a medium roast, but fairly close. There is, it's got a kind of a slight oily sheen to it. Tight, almost invisible seams. Minimal veining, but what is there, you can actually see. There's just not a lot of it. They are very thin. And it is finished in what looks like a Cuban style flat cap. All right, let's see here. I'm going to use a V cut. That's my favorite cut. if you listen to any of my stuff, you probably know. Nearly all the cigars I smoke, I V-cut them. Not for any other reason other than just I like it. You know, people have their own. They have their own style. You know, that's one thing that makes cigars so interesting. Now on the nose, I get a little bit of barnyard, some really nice natural tobacco, and some cedar notes. And a hint of leather. This is an alluring cigar. All right, cold draw. For those that they're new to cigars or you haven't really ever had a cigar, after you cut it, you cold draw it so that you get the palate of the tobaccos on your tongue before you light it. Kind of tells you what's going on inside. I get more of that really natural kind of sweet tobacco, almost along the lines of a pipe tobacco. And there's some nice coffee notes, some earth, and a really nice woodiness to it. So, did I actually take a sip of the bourbon? I know I did, didn't I? I'm sure. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'm just trying to drink more. So I will. Really good stuff. Let's go ahead and toast this stick up and just see what we get. Just looking to make sure I get a really good even light on it so we don't burn it unevenly. Sorry if you can hear the 95-pound doorbell. She started as soon as I came out here to do this. I'll say the first couple of puffs were a little tight. We'll see how it goes, but it seemed to kind of loosen up just a little bit after a couple of draws. Kind of the same thing as on the nose and the palate. You're getting some really nice, sweet, natural tobacco notes, some coffee, a little wood, some baking spices kind of thrown in there. And then just a touch of like black pepper on your tongue. But the natural tobacco is right up front. I mean, it's out there head and shoulders. Um, there was more baking spices on the retro inhale, which is where you blow the smoke through your nose. If you're not new, if you're new to cigars, not an experienced cigar smoker, you do not inhale, but you can blow the smoke through your nose without inhaling. It is possible. Yes. Don't inhale. That is a public safety announcement, public service announcement. Whatever. Don't inhale a cigar. That is bad juju. You will be sick. It's still a little tight. I prefer a little bit looser draw, but it's not like so tight that you can't smoke it. It's just tighter than I would normally prefer. The I think the Rocky Patel Royale is probably the other way. I've smoked those a couple of times and I've kind of gotten a little nauseated from them. And I think it's because the draw is so easy that I smoke it too fast, not realizing it. That is a really, really good cigar. There was I've seen this around on social media and stuff a lot lately, although it has been out for a little while. But I always wanted to try it, and I tell you, this is just right off the light, this is a really great stick. We're going to try them together here now. That was not a good draw. That was better. I'll say that the kind of the coffee and the baking spices really blend well with the vanilla that is in the spirit. And you're getting just enough kind of, there's a little black pepper on the tongue. There's a little spiciness, a little oak spice in the spirit. And it's really making them go together really well. So I'm just going to keep smoking here. We're going to see how we're doing. I will say, all right, now blowing the smoke into the glass, that's just a personal preference. I kind of use it as a gauge to let me know if I've been able to draw enough off the cigar, if I can fill that glass up with smoke. Because, when I took the first draw, when I was going to try them together, I'm like, that's not enough. It wasn't enough smoke for me to really get a good gauge of how these go together. So, and not all cigar smoke will hang in a glass like that. Some of it wafts out, if that's a word. I think it is, very quickly. Sorry, I messed up the microphone. But this is, I will have to say that I really like this cigar, except for the draw. And I wish I had one of those things you stick in it to loosen the draw up. Sometimes you got to stick something in there and loosen it up. And that's what she said. Yeah, I mean, that's really the only thing I can take away from this right away that I don't like. Is I can tell you, I like the aroma, I like the palate, I love the nice stacks of nice white ash, just solid white. I mean, there's basically no gray to it. It's burning just a hair uneven, but not much. Other than that one hump, it's almost razor straight around. I mean, this is a really good cigar from Macanudo. My favorite is the Macanudo Orange Label. I think I reviewed it a week or two ago. I just bought a box of those. That's how good they were. And another thing about me blowing the smoke in the glass is it allows me to hold the smoke in my mouth as long as possible. Then I blow it into the glass just as I'm taking the sip. So you're getting the most connection of the palate of the smoke and the spirit at one time. Where if you take a puff, blow it out, pick up your glass, take a drink, you've had a few seconds for that to kind of die out. And when you're talking about being in your local cigar shop, that's one thing. But when you're trying to pair them and trying to tell people, this is what I experience, you want to be able to do that. You want to be able to hold those, get those two together as quickly as possible. So that's kind of why I do it. It's not, it's one of those things. That is a really great cigar. I wish I had one of those cigar loosener upper things. If you work for one of those cigar loosener upper things, why don't you send me one of those? I'll tell people all about it. I really, really love Garrison Brothers. Uh, it's not just because I live in Texas, but that's what I always say. All this stuff's been going on politically and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, well, Texas is the only state that was once its own country, and we would be more than happy to go back to doing that again. And we have everything we need. We have seaports, we have oil, we have natural gas, we have grain. We make grain into spirits. We have Shiner beer. We have $4 billion in gold. Oh, technology. SpaceX, Dell, Tesla, we have it all. We have it all. I'm fine, but let's just go back to, let's just go ahead and make it 50 independent states and, just see who wins. Watching college football, college football, no, we're past that. College basketball here, LSU and Mississippi State. Mississippi State's ranked 24th in the country. Right now they're behind right at the end of the first half to unranked LSU. The Aggies have to stop a 3-game losing skid. All right, we got 8 more minutes, so I can get pretty close to the halfway mark. I'll let y'all go. I won't keep this going on. I know I could do like an hour, but I'm back on Restream, and we're going to see how it goes. I would like to be able to go to a couple other places other than X and YouTube, but hey, that's the two I'm using right now, so I'm just going to go with it. I don't know. I was able to get the Rumble thing working, but I'm just like at the point, it's there's a lot of problems. I don't like problems. It's like, oh, hey, I don't know who this dude is. He's one of the halftime prognosticator, whatever you want to call people. Oh yeah, A&M in Florida tonight, 7:30. Gonna be watching that game. This is a tough game to stop a 3-game losing skid on, but we are already in double digits ranked. We got to get it together, or we will not be a number 2 seed in the tournament. SEC Network. This is the SEC Network. I thought it said. Sorry, I'm trying to find a game that looked like it was. I would be a little more interested in it. Guess not. This one will work. I'm talking to y'all more anyway, right? Still, just really nice stacks of white ash. Oh, now we're back. Auburn and Kentucky. Oh, this is highlights. I can't believe Auburn's the number 1 team in the country. And Bruce Pearl. Had Tennessee let him get away. And they're playing Kentucky. How did Kentucky let John Calipari get away? I can't believe he went to Arkansas. Arkansas fans, he will leave you in the middle of the night. He is like a thief. When I was living in Memphis, he was coaching at Memphis. And I remember there were reporters on his front yard, on his front sidewalk. He's standing on his front porch, and they're like, there's been rumors that you're leaving for Kentucky. Is that true? There is absolutely no truth in that. I am a Tiger man. The next morning, he announced he was going to Kentucky. So, enjoy his coaching with a grain of salt, I guess, be kind of the best way to say it. Got 4 minutes left. Means I got about 2 minutes more smoking because I'll need to get it shut off at the 30-minute mark. Yeah, I mean, I know Macanudo is one of the bigger names in cigars. People would recognize. Depending on what part of the country or what part of the world you're in, Garrison Brothers may not. They make some really great spirits. It's a Texas distillery, and they do some really great stuff down in Hye, Texas. Hye, Hye, Hye. Stick is still very tight on the draw, even with, I mean, that's a fairly large V cut that I cut in that one. March Madness is coming. I don't follow it like I used to. I used to do the fantasy pools and all that kind of stuff. But I was really great in the first round. I would get teams. I would pick teams that people like. You're not going to win that game, and then I would. But then when you got after that, I continually went downhill. Yeah, I was great out of the gate, but I wasn't long, and I wasn't good in the marathon. So I can say we're at the 28-minute mark. I'm going to try to keep it to 30, so I'm going to go ahead and try and cut this off. Really hasn't been a lot of change as we're nearing the half. You still get those rich, sweet, natural tobacco notes with some, like coffee and a little bit of cedar and stuff like that in the background. It's still there. It hasn't changed. It's really great. I mean, it is. If the draw was a little looser, and I have 4 more of these, so I'll try some more, and we'll see how it goes. But if it wasn't for the tight draw, this would be an absolutely awesome cigar. It's a great cigar, but not an awesome cigar. Well, I'll let you go. We got about a minute left. I will tell you, I am just completely ecstatic that all of you joined me today. Please hit like, subscribe, share, notify. You know all that. Bring all the bells, do all the whistles, all that kind of stuff. Share the shiznit out of it so that this gets spread far and wide. I really enjoy doing this. I tried the political thing for a little bit, but man, that makes your chest hurt. That's just way too much stress. I don't see how those people do it. But follow all my social medias. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram, on YouTube, Facebook, all that kind of stuff. And until we get to be together again, keep your sticks dry. Stone's cold.